So with y'all, man, we got 21 most disturbing cases caught on CCTV footage by Mystery Man. This should be part 2, I think, for me.
TikTok user Lily was home alone when, at 1:20 a.m., she suddenly heard her front door handle move. At first, she hoped it was just the wind, but the sound continued, steady and deliberate. Someone was trying to get in. A few seconds later, she showed footage from her security camera outside. It captured a man, dressed entirely in black, scanning the area before walking into the apartment
because it's probably one of her exes or something, bro.
Complex. Unfortunately, no further updates were provided after that clip. But this was most likely the same person who was at her front door. Thankfully, nobody made it inside her apartment. On the night of June 6, 1992, the city of Springfield, Missouri was buzzing with celebration. It was graduation night, and two best friends, Suzanne Susie Streeter and Stacy McCall, had just finished high school. They spent the evening attending several graduation parties, and around 2 a.m., they returned to Susie's home on East Delmar Street, where she lived with her mother, Cheryl Levitt. And from that moment on, all three women vanished without a trace. The next morning, when friends arrived at the house to make plans for the day, they immediately noticed things weren't right. The front door was unlocked. The porch light was broken, with shattered glass on the step. Inside, everything seemed normal, but off. All three women's purses, keys, and clothing were still in the house. The TV was on. Susie and Cheryl's cigarettes were left untouched. Even the dog, Cheryl's Yorkshire Terrier, was still there, anxious but unharmed. There were no clear signs of a struggle. Despite hundreds of tips, polygraphs, national media attention, and even involvement from the FBI,
I used to have these on billboards.
There's been no confirmed sightings, no suspects, and no physical evidence explaining what happened to the three women, now known as the Springfield Three. Over the years, multiple theories have surfaced. Some believe the women were abducted by someone they knew. Others suggest it could have been a random intruder. There was even a tip that the women were buried beneath a parking garage downtown. But multiple digs and scans have turned up nothing. More than 30 years have passed since that night. Susie, Stacy, and Cheryl left behind grieving families, and a case that still haunts the Springfield community to this day. What happened inside that quiet home in the early hours of June 7th? Three women, no witnesses, no evidence, no answers. Just a heartbreaking, unsolved mystery. The creator, Exploratory, decided to explore an abandoned mansion. As he walked down a long hallway, he suddenly heard something. Soft singing,
this is your fault,
accompanied by the sound of musical instruments, coming from down the stairs. Curious, he went down to investigate. That's when he heard a strange automated voice, speaking in a language he couldn't understand. At that moment, he quickly realized it wasn't safe to stay any longer. He left the mansion immediately. But it makes you wonder, what was going on in that place that night? And was it truly abandoned? On January 24, 2006, 24-year-old Jennifer Joyce Kessie mysteriously vanished from her condo in Orlando, Florida after leaving for work. She was never seen again. 2 days later, her car was found abandoned about a mile from her home. Surveillance cameras caught an unidentified person parking it and walking away, but the footage was too blurry to identify anyone.
That's because people just do crimes and just go about their day after that.
Inside her condo, investigators found signs she had started her morning routine, but her keys, phone, purse, and iPod were missing. Despite extensive searches, no confirmed sightings or arrests have been made. Over the years, her family and private investigators have pushed for new leads, and in recent years, the FDLE renewed the investigation after uncovering new DNA evidence. Jennifer's disappearance remains one of the most perplexing missing person cases in recent U.S. history, and the mystery of what happened that day continues.
What's what she get found, man?
A couple set up a camera in the nursery to watch their baby girl. The door was always left slightly open for convenience. But one night,
I don't know about sleeping with your door open.
something terrifying happened.
That's just like
3 loud thumps echoed through the room.
so you never know. Like you just having the door closed. If someone comes in, like you'll know. Like you could be able to know. I mean, if it's just open already, it's like
The door suddenly slammed shut with a loud bang.
Oh. It was all in one motion too.
With a loud bang.
Yeah, y'all gotta get up out of there. That shit just closed right away. Like it wasn't no like delay or
But the real horror came next.
This shit moving?
On the monitor, a dark, shadowy figure appeared over the crib, looming over the baby. Its form shifted unnaturally in the dim light, and it even moved a toy at the front door of the crib before slowly vanishing. No one knows what it was, but the chilling footage left the parents completely unsettled.
You know, y'all gotta get up out of there, bro.
A rental house owner went to her vacant property to clean it up for a new tenant. The house had been empty for 2 months. While mopping the floors, she noticed clear human footprints on the ground. The strange part is, the woman was wearing sneakers, so the prints weren't hers. The feeling of being watched hit her immediately, as if an invisible presence shared the space.
I'd be feeling that too. I feel like if I was a female, I feel like I always be being watched too.
Had someone been inside while the house sat empty for 2 months? YouTube channel DM Secret Facts uploaded a strange piece of security footage from inside a jail. The video shows a faint mist-like shape, almost transparent, appearing near the back of the cell. Moments later, the cell door opens and a guard walks directly beneath the camera and looks straight into it, almost as if he's checking whether it's working. Behind him, the mist-like figure lingers, even after he eventually leaves. Some viewers believe it was just dust or a camera glitch, but others believe it could be something else, something tied to the jail itself. On February 14th, 2000, Valentine's Day, 9-year-old Aisha Jakia Degree vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina, under deeply mysterious circumstances. It was a school night. Asha had gone to bed like normal in the room she shared with her older brother. But in the early morning hours, sometime between 2:30 and 3 a.m., Asha quietly got out of bed, packed her school bag with personal items, and walked out into the dark. No one knows why. At 4 a.m., 2 different motorists reported seeing a young girl walking alone down Highway 18, wearing light clothing despite the cold, rainy weather. One of the drivers turned around, concerned, but when he tried to approach her, the girl bolted into the woods. That was the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree. By morning, her family discovered she was gone and launched a desperate search. Flyers were printed, helicopters were deployed, dogs, volunteers, and police combed the area, but there was no sign of Asha. Not until over a year later, in August 2001, when a contractor discovered something buried off the highway, 20 miles from where Asha was last seen.
Like, there's people that be doing this road work right here, and just, might find something.
Contractor discovered something buried off the highway, 20 miles from where Asha was last seen. It was Asha's backpack, wrapped carefully in plastic trash bags and buried. Inside were some of her personal items, including a book checked out from her local library and a concert t-shirt that no one in her family recognized. It was the first major clue, but tragically, it didn't lead to answers. In the years since, dozens of tips have come in. In 2015, the FBI reopened the case and offered a reward. In 2016, they released an age-progressed image of what Asha might look like as a teenager. And in 2020, 20 years after her disappearance, they revealed that someone had reported seeing a young 20 years after her disappearance, they revealed that someone had reported seeing a young girl getting into a green car on the night Asha went missing. But still, no confirmed suspect, no arrests, and no resolution. Asha Degree would be nearly 33 years old today. Despite years of investigation, her case remains an unsolved mystery.
Damn, bro, like, imagine you have a family, and you just got your kid at home, She's sleeping with her brother, and then she just wake up in the middle of the night. You never see her again for 30 plus years, bro. I couldn't
Her
imagine that.
family continues to search for
You don't
answers,
know if she alive. You don't know if she like where she at all.
refusing
Police
to give
don't
up
know where
hope.
she at. FBI don't know.
A Facebook user had just bought a new Samsung Note 9 and decided to test its camera on their dog. A few days later, while sending the picture, they noticed something horrifying in the reflection. In the mirror behind the dog, a scary face seemed to be staring back. No one else was there at the time, and it didn't look like anyone they knew. At first, they thought it might be a trick of the camera or a reflection from another object, but nothing in the room matched what was captured. The owner says they were completely shaken and posted it to Facebook, hoping someone could offer a reasonable explanation. Unfortunately, commenters had only one answer: the paranormal.
You might gotta get up out of there.
A Tesla owner decided to test the full self-driving mode in his car, but had a life-threatening experience instead. Driving in foggy conditions, he approached a railroad crossing instead. Driving in foggy conditions, he approached a railroad crossing, where the flashing warning lights should have triggered the car to stop. To his shock, the Tesla kept moving straight toward the train.
Wait, you didn't see this?
He approached a railroad crossing, where the flashing warning
you can kind of look, you see it right here, moving.
Lights should have triggered the car to stop. To his shock, the Tesla kept moving straight toward the train.
Hit the train.
He had to manually slam the brakes to avoid a collision. Had he not reacted in time, the outcome could have been catastrophic.
Oh, no, I just like
a man in Vietnam woke
up
at 3 a.m. feeling uneasy, like someone or something was watching him. He looked around his room but saw nothing, until his eyes fell on the sink. In the dark gap beneath it,
fuck? Ain't no way I was there this whole time.
One or something was watching him. He looked around his room but saw nothing, until his eyes fell on the sink.
This might be AI.
In the dark
he might edit
gap beneath it, a faint outline of a face seemed to stare back at him. He quickly grabbed his phone and took a picture. With darkness all around,
if he actually seen this in his room, the first thing he did was take a picture of it.
He had nowhere to go and had to wait until sunrise. The next day, examining the photo, the face was still visible. Its features unclear, but undeniably there. It must be an optical illusion, right? It's hard to imagine anyone actually staying there until sunrise after seeing a face in their room.
They don't add up. You seen it.
It was the morning of June 13, 2001, in Omaha, Nebraska. Jason Jolkowski, a quiet, dependable 19-year-old, was getting ready for another order.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all check on the quiet people, right? I used to be one of those. But I wasn't like it wasn't wrong with me. I just
every day. He had recently taken up a local job at Fazoli's restaurant, and on that particular morning, he had arranged for a co-worker to pick him up at nearby Benson High School, just a few blocks from his house. Jason told his parents he was heading out to meet the ride, a short 10-minute walk through his neighborhood. But somewhere in those few blocks, Jason disappeared. When the co-worker arrived at the high school, Jason never showed up. Security cameras confirmed he never made it to the school, and no one, not neighbors, not passers-by, ever reported seeing him on the route. His parents quickly reported him missing. Within hours, search teams canvassed the area. Flyers were distributed, interviews were conducted, tips were chased, but nothing surfaced. No witnesses, no signs of struggle, no phone or wallet, no trace at all. It was as if he had simply vanished into thin air. Jason was known as a responsible and introverted young man. He was close to his family, active in amateur radio, and had dreams of transferring to a local college. There was no reason for him to disappear voluntarily. And yet, for over 2 decades, his case has remained one of Nebraska's most baffling and heartbreaking unsolved mysteries. In the years since, his parents still live with the same haunting question. How does a 19-year-old vanish on a 10-minute walk in broad daylight and leave behind not a single clue? If you know anything about the disappearance of Jason Jolkowski, you're urged to contact Omaha police or your local authorities. Even the smallest detail could finally bring answers to the family.
No figures found, bro.
A man was having repeated toilet clogs at his home and decided to call a plumber to check things out. What they found was far beyond anything expected.
The fuck is that?
Hidden inside the plumbing system was a large snake, slithering
Yeah. I think you should just get another house, bro. That's all.
through the pipes. The man
I wouldn't be recording this, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
and the plumber managed to remove the snake. For us viewers, a new fear is unlocked.
Damn, bro. No, I ain't tripping over no snake. You know, I feel me like I know God got me and things of that nature, bro. I ain't scared of no damn snake, man. What a snake gonna do to me? I mean,
A woman came home after a long day and began playing with her cat.
oh, I see that.
Thinking it was a wholesome moment, she set her phone facing the mirror to record them. But when she watched the footage later, something was off. Behind her, reflected in the mirror, a third presence appeared. A pale, expressionless face stared directly at her, and the cat from just behind her shoulder. Terrified, the woman decided to stay with a friend for a while. What would you do?
I would have moved.
TikTok creator Kraken Jack noticed something disturbing in their bathroom. Hanging from the metal faucet was a thin brown shape, something that looked like a wet strand of hair. But it wasn't hair. As they brought a tissue closer, the shape suddenly pulled itself back inside the tap. Some thought it might be a spider leg hiding inside the faucet. But the truth, it turned out to be a drain worm, the larva of a drainfly commonly found in damp areas like sinks and pipes. Harmless, but definitely not something you want to find in your water.
Damn.
A person found an old photo they had taken as a child on a camera from the early 2000s. At first glance, it looked completely innocent. Looking closer, a grey, ash-like humanoid figure appears to be sitting beside them. The poster says they never noticed the figure back then. Now they're wondering if what they captured might be a ghost.
Quality of the picture, bro. It might just be a pillow. Low key, if you look at it closely,
Captured.
It looks like it's just part of the pillow right here, and then this is part of the wall. And it's just a badass quality.
Might be a ghost.
Because that shit like it was made.
This footage was reportedly captured inside El Palacio de Hierro near the Zocalo in Mexico City around 2 a.m. long after closing time. In the video, multiple Amazon Echo display units on the sales floor suddenly activated at once and began reciting the Chaplet of the Divine Mercy in Spanish. What's really disturbing isn't just the prayer, but the synchronization. Several devices appeared to speak together inside a dark, empty store.
Bro, what's up a prayer?
The Zocalo sits atop the ruins of Tenochtitlan, a place many consider spiritually heavy. Because of this, people believe it's a place where unusual things happen after dark. Skeptics, however, say it was likely a glitch or a remote command. But others believe the timing and location feel far too specific to ignore.
It's not specific, bro. They all come on at the same time.
A woman shared a photo taken in December 2002 by her ex-husband on Facebook. In the image, their baby lies in a carrier, but something strange appears above her. One shape is bright white and elongated, almost like legs. The other is a dark, shadowy blur nearby. The angles and lighting don't match normal shadows, and everything else in the room looks calm and undisturbed. Some believe these shapes could be protective entities, while others fear something far darker. Whatever the truth, the image has haunted the family for over 20 years. In 1995, a woman named Amber Dawn moved into a rented apartment in Enumclaw, Washington. A woman named Amber Dawn moved into a rented apartment in Enumclaw, Washington. At first, everything felt normal, until strange things started happening. Over time, she noticed food disappearing from her fridge.
I know, this is different because it's like, I feel like with females, if y'all stay by yourself, it's just like, it's something that can happen, bro. But like, honestly, I wouldn't even want to serve myself in general either.
Doors left open or closed.
Like for years and stuff like that. Like maybe a month or a year, that's cool, but anything above
without
that,
explanation, and odd noises above her, like someone walking around. She tried to ignore it at first. But then, one night, she noticed the attic hatch was open, and suddenly all the puzzle pieces made sense.
But shit, I ain't
Someone
gonna
had
lie,
been quietly living
I ain't gonna lie, I don't really be going to no attics. That's what's on top. That's the top. Yeah, I think I went in the attic where I live at like once or twice before, but it was like because it was like leaks and stuff like that. But I don't never be just going to
in
the
her
attic.
home.
But I mean, y'all
Cops were
gotta check
called,
y'all
and
attic.
although no one was found at the
Especially
moment,
if your house older.
police did discover some belongings in the attic. The intruder was never caught,
But it's
and
probably like
Amber
her
moved
ex
out soon after.
or
But
yeah.
the feeling of being watched stayed
What
with
the
her
fuck?
long after.
Yeah. Y'all
Reddit
gotta
user
be aware of that.
CDQL shared a photo taken casually as a keepsake
I wanna
by
check
her
on
wife's
everybody else's
uncle,
stuff, though.
who was in the military. At first,
That's
nothing
military.
seems unusual, but
Look
looking
at
more closely, a blurry figure appears in the foreground.
Man,
Some
that's
commenters
quality,
suggested it could simply be a double exposure or a camera glitch, noting it looks very similar to the person standing next to
bro. You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Still, the photo definitely gives off a creepy
That's just a
vibe.
bad quality of the shit. That's alright.
A woman at home began hearing an unsettling voice that sounded like a child, so one night she decided to start recording.
Oh, yeah.
According to her, this had been happening
It's the
for
hello
2
and
weeks.
shit. And you still standing. Hold on, what is this and how can I get rid of it? You asking us? It's been doing since 2 weeks and I think something has touched me.
Anyone familiar with horror stories
asking
knows
me
that hearing
what
children's
they-
voices in an empty house is a serious red flag.
Oh, I'm saying.
Commenters are
You
divided
stayed
on
there
whether
for
this
2
is a
weeks?
ghost or just a hoax. But everyone agrees.
What's up with
The
you guys?
footage is terrifying.
Bro, you shouldn't be
A
standing
woman
there.
was working behind the counter of a bar, calmly mixing drinks,
Oh, that Starbucks
when
is-
suddenly a bottle flew out of her hand and
What the
slid
fuck?
across the counter on its own. She was stunned as the bottle moved with no
Oh, yeah.
visible force.
Yeah, let's go.
No one else was behind the
Back it up.
bar, and nothing should have caused it to move.
Let's back it up.
When she
Mama.
reviewed the security footage, the moment seemed just as strange, if not stranger, than before. It could be staged with strings or magnets, but many who've seen the
I don't
clip
think they that bored to do all
believe
that.
it's genuine.
Talking about some strings and shit. Yeah, I don't think you that.
A woman had been left alone in a quiet section of
hope
a
you don't have
hospital
much
late
time
at
like
night
that.
to decorate for an early morning event.
Oh, they found
At
a
first,
baby shower in this
everything
motherfucker?
seemed normal.
Oh,
Then,
sitting there by herself,
she heard
bro.
this. The unmistakable
like right
sound
here,
of a baby
low-key,
crying, echoing through the empty corridors.
Well, you're like a
As she
movie.
filmed, a dark, shadowy shape
Oh,
briefly appeared in one of the corridor
boy.
windows. Easy to miss,
think you might get
but
it up
impossible to ignore once seen.
Gotta get up out
Some
of there.
believe this captures the ghost of someone who passed away in the hospital.
Oh,
A
yeah,
combination
Hey, our people that passed away, man.
of sound and shadow
In general, just in general.
makes it hard
We're in
to
the
think
hospital, too.
otherwise. Reddit user
pick
Michelle
up.
Lian shared a chilling
lots of times
story
look
that
really
recently
close by yourself,
resurfaced
I mean.
with new footage. Late one night, a friend's home security camera in a quiet neighborhood captured what appeared to be a baby.
That's a
Concerned, the homeowner contacted authorities.
baby. One of my parents, but if anyone is missing a baby, we have asked everyone. We don't know who this is. They're on our front porch. Our camera took a movie, but there wasn't none there when we went out. We're calling the police because I don't know whose kid it is. We can't find it now.
Search and rescue teams were dispatched, thinking a real infant might
Hey,
be
y'all
in
trying to invest in these type of cameras, bro, because you just
danger.
never know.
However, after reviewing the footage, officials reportedly concluded it was simply a camera glitch, but not everyone was convinced. The original images show what looks unmistakably like a small baby on the camera feed.
It don't look like a
Timestamp
real
screenshots
person, though. Like, it look like a baby, but it don't look real. You know what I'm saying?
make it even stranger. In one frame, the baby appears clearly.
But I wanna
Just
see that
1
be an
minute later,
actual-
the figure is completely gone.
an actual
No
baby.
movement, no transition, no
It'd
explanation.
be probably a doll.
As if
I
it
think of it as a
simply
walking
vanished.
doll before I think of it as a baby.
Then, the story took an even darker turn. Recently, a video resurfaced on TikTok by user Ashes Stoyu, revisiting the case and adding unsettling
I'm not
new
reading
material. The TikToker revealed that the poster's daughter, Ensley, took a photograph showing a ghostly figure closely resembling the same baby seen on the security camera. The resemblance is strong enough that many believe it can't be a
Yeah,
coincidence.
you might gotta get up out of it.
The original poster added that even more unsettling, the baby looks exactly like her daughter Ensley when she was just 2 years old. Emergency services
That's
were
the
called
Jesus stuff.
like her.
Hold on, let's read it now. Picture behind, messages the baby. It's the pickup I was taken 2 years ago. Like I said, I was gonna post it. So it's good. There was a baby on my porch, and definitely had me questioning if I know, but ain't. When I asked no, we do not do any of that. So it's scary. Sort of that, which is why it's so scary, and that's why. Man, we just shouldn't read the Jesus part. I pray the blood of Jesus over my family and do anything that's not of Jesus and Jesus only. Alright.
Daughter instantly when
Yeah,
she
I
was
wasn't reading
just
all that.
2 years old. Emergency services were
No, Jesus though.
called,
Yeah,
investigations were
that.
carried out, and official explanations were given. Yet, even with all that, the footage refuses to sit comfortably as
That
just
is
a
kind of
glitch.
scary though. I can get up out of there though.
Reddit user Queso Amor was driving past an old abandoned building in Richmond, Indiana, when, in an upstairs window, something strange caught their eye. At first, they thought it was just a Halloween decoration,
This motherfucker.
but something didn't feel right, so they pulled over and snapped a quick picture. In the photo, a pale human-like
That's the
face can
trenches, though,
clearly
buddy,
be
ain't it?
seen, staring out from behind the glass. But the most disturbing part, just seconds later, when they looked back,
They just run
the
away.
face was gone.
That's it.
They returned to the location several times on
I don't know
different
why they
days,
did that shit.
but the window was always
Let
empty,
me send me
as if
that shit.
nothing was ever there. So, what was it? It seems too
Somebody
detailed
said,
and realistic to be just a trick of the
like,
light, right?
I don't know, Shawty.
Someone
Yeah.
uploaded a clip from a baby monitor
Another baby,
showing a
bro?
baby asleep in her crib.
Y'all keep
At
y'all
first,
babies
everything
safe, man.
seemed normal.
You know, person like me, I thought you gotta sleep with your baby like when they're like real young. You get one of those little I forgot what it's called. Well, I got a picture of it. Hold on. Like one of those little like things you like use for your neck or some shit. You feel me? So let me show y'all niggas what I'm saying. Cause niggas are like I'm crazy and shit. Hold on. Let me show y'all niggas what I'm talking about. Remember? Hold on. Yeah, like this right here. This thing. Hold on. You guys see my joint? Damn. Can't see that bit? Let me turn my brightness down. Hold on. Yeah, that thing right here. See that? That's what you use for me. And then just use that. And then when they get older, you feel me? They get down.
But then,
They're like
a cloud
toddlers.
of white smoke or fog
'Cause I feel like if
appears,
they this age,
hovering above the baby.
that way, or you could just get them in a crib. I forgot people still use cribs. You can use a crib.
It drifts slowly across the crib
Right.
before disappearing. The person who recorded the footage
When I used to, like, when my brother was born, they had a crib. My dad and my mom had a crib in their room. So the baby would always be in their room.
believes
They could
the
watch
camera
over
may
them.
have captured a
And
spirit
then that way, if the baby wakes up, they don't have to go walk all the way to the other side of the house to go get him.
visiting the child. There's no way to confirm or disprove this, but ethereal foggy shapes around infants often spark these kind of theories. Some think it's just a trick of the light or a camera artifact, while others feel it could be something supernatural. Either way, the footage is mysterious. For more,
All right, bro. Let's do a prayer. Lord, protect everybody that's watching this video, everybody that was in these videos. Something be able to turn to you and just get all this paranormal activity out the world and all this negativity out the world. We love you, Lord. We're nothing without you. You so many names, love you. You so many names. I love y'all, man. Jesus loves y'all. Y'all stay safe, man. More videos today.